A great core stability exercise will do two things. One, it's a true core stability exercise. So perfect example is a plank. You hold a plank, you're just there. You're solid, you're not moving. Anti-movement is what they call core stability. Another example, if I had a really heavy weight just in one hand, that heavy weight's trying to pull me this way, but if I stay upright, all these muscles are engaged and I could walk around and be stable, versus you have that weight and you're doing these side bends. So that is a movement-based exercise, so it's not necessarily the same as a core stability exercise. Now, the second thing, and what we're going to talk about in this video that's really important for a core stability exercise, is something called co-activation. What co-activation means is, can we get the muscles on the front side and the back side, and ideally even the side stomach muscles in here? Because it's the side stomach muscles that, when those are stable, provide more of our pelvis and spine health benefits, that true core stability. Not for cosmetic purposes and trying to get ripped abs, but for protecting your spine to make you function better and to maybe even help you with pain that you would experience from instability. So we're gonna go over, there's a lot of exercises, but this one's kind of one of my favorite foundational exercises. If you're looking for a safe place to start with some core stability exercises, this is usually a pretty darn safe exercise. Of course, if you have something going on or if you're experiencing pain, find a healthcare practitioner to ask them if this would be a good exercise for you or not. But we're gonna start off, it's a modification of a bird dog. We're just gonna do things, we're gonna tweak things a little bit differently to activate a little bit more of those side stomach muscles. So a bird dog starts off on all fours. Before I do the exercise, I start with a little cat and cow. I do that for a couple reasons, just mobilize and get my spine loosened up, warmed up. But the other thing is to help me get that body awareness of where my neutral position is, because that's important for this exercise. So let me kind of give you the end range, outside of neutral. That's being really extended here or overly flexed here. So it's kind of the end range of either one of those. Neutral is what's kind of like right in the middle of both of those. That's what we want to find. A little pro tip here, as soon as you bring a leg back, there's this tendency to kind of fall into this extension of your back. You want to avoid this. The reason that is because as soon as you bring that leg back, these muscles back here, especially in your low back, they heavily engage. And so there's this tendency to just like rest on your joints rather than actually engage the opposite side muscles. And again, I said co-activation. So to get the co-activation, meaning the front and the back simultaneously, we're gonna wanna be aware that the tendency is to go here when we bring the leg back, and we're gonna maybe wanna just cinch up just a little bit here. So don't start here, start a little bit more cinched up, then we bring the leg back. Now, how we get even more co-activation is I'm gonna lean away from the knee that I have down. So I usually move my hand this way, and I'm going to lean this way, lean away from that knee and engage. And that's what's gonna really help me get these side stomach muscles. Now let me show you the opposite of that, and what a lot of people end up wanting to do is they kind of hang out here with all of their body weight shifted over this knee that's down. When I'm hanging out here, this is not hard, it's not challenging, I'm not really using or engaging a lot of muscles. It's when I lean, and notice I'm not bringing my foot over like this. It's not this. I am really taking my hand, coming out here, and I'm leaning. Now I'm a little bit over exaggerating the lean. You don't have to lean this far, but you could get way over here, but find what works for you. And again, those side stomach muscles crazy engaged, back muscles engaged, front stomach muscles engaged. And that is what you want to do to engage all of those muscles with that bird dog. Now, a couple of other key components to keep in mind. We want to really use our diaphragm to breathe. The diaphragm is a core stabilizing muscle. So when we get in a challenging position, there's this tendency to hold our breath. Breathe. We want to breathe in, and we want to breathe out. Somewhat slowly, not big rushed breaths, somewhat deep, slow breathing while we hold these positions. That way we get to use that diaphragm stability muscle. as a stability muscle and as a breathing muscle, which is what it is. It's your primary muscle of respiration, they call it. How long should you hold that? How many should you do? It's going to depend on what you're trying to achieve and what your current level is. But I usually recommend somewhere in the range of a 10-second to a 30-second hold on each side. You would go back and forth, and then maybe do that anywhere between 3 or even upwards of 6 sets of those on each side. If you wanted to, instead of holding it for a certain amount of time, saying that 10 to 30 seconds, an alternative, and I really like this and I recommend this for my patients, is do it for a certain amount of breaths. So a nice slow breath might be in and out, might be somewhere around 9 seconds. That's what's kind of ballpark recommended. So if you did 3 slow breaths, you're getting really close to that 30-second mark, and then you would switch sides. So again, there's a modified bird dog for core stability, especially to get that co-activation, those side muscles. I hope you got some value out of this exercise. I encourage you to practice that, to play with that. If you did get some value out of this, give us the thumbs up, like our page, even better. And then if you have a question, of course, leave it in the comments below.